What is up, everybody? We're back. Championship title geek time. That made no sense. Championship time here in the Untitled Geek division. The long-awaited Wookiee Mistakes Civil War. Joe Farrelly, David Garcia. This is the matchup everybody's been wanting. I think since Joe became champion. With me on the desk today is Spence. Spence, how you doing?
Didn't we already see a Wookiee Civil War in Revenge of the Sith, or am I crazy?
Sometimes I wonder why I let you co-host with me.
Well, I run this shit, so
This
I
is-
could
this
just
is-
like
this
take
is
you
one
out
of those
my house
things.
Here, my new friend. Here's the thing. I've been in David's corner since he first got into this league. I've been managing him over in Full Metal. I've been working with him in fandom and writing everything here. So seeing him take on Joe, who is like maybe the only person who likes more than me, other than like you, Alex, and maybe he likes Joe a lot. So I think they're gonna have a really good, like, competitive match today.
I agree. I think this is going to be a fun match. So we'll see what these two guys have to say right now in promos.
So, I never had to think about where Adelaide stands in the people I like the most in the fan leagues, but Adelaide made me think about it, so thanks for that. Something happened, so I am having to do this promo again, so it's going to come across a little weird. But I was saying that I really, really like Joe. He's my partner. He's my ride or die. We have been together in our greatest successes in the fan leagues and in probably our worst defeats. Not like the ones we play the worst, but the ones that hurt the most, probably. And it's always really fun to play him. But when we play, I think we always want to have that match to remember that you don't care if we win or lose, because it's just that great. And because of me, we never had that yet. So I really hope I can give it to him today because he deserves it. Good luck, Joe.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this. This is going to be great. I watched this entire tournament. Thomas and I helped write this tournament, and it was so good to see David come out the other side as the winner. We've had a lot of matches together, not so many against each other. There was a lot behind the scenes training, studying, and they were really, really fun. I'm really not too fussed if I lose this, because if I lose this belt to David, then I get to, my teammate, my friend, win a championship. That being said, that means doesn't mean I haven't been studying. It doesn't mean I haven't been working hard. But I wanted this match to be about the knowledge and about the questions. I didn't want it to be because someone got a bad spin. So I took spinners and opponents off. I took quotes, mixed bag, and Oscars. Damn. See, I'm already forgetting it. That's why I took it off. I took him off because I wanted to be about the questions. And David and I, we've already spoken about what's on the wheel, what's available, and I think we both know what we're going to do in this match. So I'm looking forward to it being about the questions. Good luck, David. I'm looking forward to this. Let's get it started.
Well, alrighty then. I guess the slurring and misuse of words is contagious, because I've clearly passed it on to both David and Joe. Those were some interesting promos. David would have had to do his promo twice. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really interesting match. Like Joe said, quotes, mixed bag, and Oscars, where to be found today. So we're going to see what these guys can do with the other categories we got over here. Spence, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Introducing first our challenger for today's Geek Championship match, part of the team tournament winners, Digidestined, David Garcia. And his opponent, the reigning Untitled Geek champion, Joe Farrelly.
Hey.
All right, gents, you know how this works. Round one's like this: 10 questions from 10 different geek categories. You get 20 seconds to answer each and every question. You get it right, you gain a point. You get it wrong, you don't get anything. If you get all 10 questions correct, you get a special bonus question for an extra point. You have right. Is it 3 or 4 repeats? It's 4, correct? Yes, 4 repeats throughout the use of the match. This is a title match and a challenge to your use. Any questions before we get into round number 1?
Nope.
Alrighty, so I'll go ahead and give you. Go ahead and give you your first question in round one in the category of Middle Earth. In Fellowship of the Ring, what does Frodo say his name is to the barman at the Prancing Pony when the hobbits arrive, searching for Gandalf?
So who the fuck likes Digimon? Like I've been meaning to ask
20 years ago, so I'm going to completely cut you off because I don't want to start with this. But 20 years ago today, this movie was released.
Oh, it was today?
5, 4,
Oh wow.
3,
Cool, Mr. Intestine.
1. Happy anniversary. Pens down. We'll go to Joe.
Underhill.
And David.
Did you know it's the best really? Underhill.
Underhill is correct.
Next question comes in the DCEU. In Aquaman, what does Mera say that only high-born Atlanteans have the ability to do? So what are your thoughts on Mr. Vincent Aquaman?
You're over 2. You're over 2. You have struck out twice, and the manager is giving you the evil eye.
Over 2 in Geek? Not surprising.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to David.
Breathe on land.
And Joe.
Breathe on land.
Both correct.
I hit myself with my whiteboard.
Ouch. All right, your next question. In the category of Oscars. What was the last Star Wars film to not get a nomination in any sound category?
I think we're 2 of the only players who actually that are upset that Oscars is leaving fandom next year.
I'm honestly not, because then I can stop hearing Kilko say he's the best at Oscars when clearly he's not.
Mm. I mean, he lost by what, like I think 3.
Yeah. Kevin Redshaw is the true king of fan Oscars. 5,
Kevin Redshaw is the king of life. Let's be fair.
2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Joe
Solo, a Star Wars story.
and David.
Rise of Skywalker.
Solo, a Star Wars story is correct. So Joe strikes first blood, takes that 3-2 lead.
Next question comes from everyone's favorite category, mixed bag. Name both mixed bag films to feature a performance from Max von Sydow.
So we
Is
cannot
the seventh
accept.
seal in fandom?
I'm sorry, what?
Is the 7th seal in fandom?
There's probably been like 2 guys who wanted to name their team Seventh Seal at one point.
Hmm. Who would that? Who would want to name themselves after an Ingmar Bergman movie?
Think of a couple people, and they wouldn't do well in fandom. 5,
Yeah,
4,
Tim Berkala,
2,
Cody
1.
Newberry.
Pens down.
I said
We'll go
I
Dave.
did ask for a repeat.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All right. First
I
repeat.
didn't.
I did.
Okay.
First repeat for Joe. Sorry. Pens.
Name both mixed bag films to feature a performance from Max von Sydow.
So we unfortunately cannot accept Cars 2 because he's not
Is
in
he
that
in
movie.
that?
No, he's not in Cars 2.
Okay, I was like, I didn't think so.
But you thought he was.
No, I didn't think it was. I was like, you're not going to trick me. I know my shitty Pixar movies, okay?
No.
I can answer you my question about more.
5, 4, 3, 2. All right, that was a good one. 1 pens down. No, we'll go to David.
Flash Gordon and Wanted. We don't have Flash Gordon here. It's not bad.
And Joe.
I just had Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon is correct. The other one is Judge Dredd.
Son of a it is.
So no
Wait,
purple.
we have Flash Gordon in our mixed bag?
Yep.
Wow.
David, you run the lead.
I know. I know.
It was on the Facebook post that you specifically made.
Damn. Whoa.
Oh, there goes the perfect.
All right, your next question is in Marvel. In Spider-Man 3, what was the name of Flint's partner who was originally thought to have shot Uncle Ben? And we do need the first and last name.
I think a lot about how some questions are like passed between documents for forever.
Wow.
Because like, how many times do you get a perfect ground? Like you reuse the same question over and over and over. and eventually it's just like the question's just sitting there for like years.
Are you advocating for like some archive database of questions?
I don't know. I just think about that a lot because I know, like, especially in fandom, I don't get perfect rounds a lot, so it's like
3,
once every 6
2,
months. Like, oh, hey, here's a
1.
question.
Pens down. We'll go to Joe
Yeah, Max.
and David.
Couldn't think of that name.
Answer is Dennis Carradine. Dennis
that's-
Carradine.
Oh,
I was way off.
I thought it was Frank. Okay.
Next question comes in the worst category, Star Trek. In Star Trek Generations, when the crew is in the ship simulator, who accidentally removes the plank instead of retracting it when Worf goes to retrieve his hat?
Okay. You said worst category. Mixed bag is right there.
I've used mixed bag categories as a strength in Full Metal, so I'm not going to deal with that.
You really want to say that like you'd
I would
rather,
rather
watch
watch Underdog than
you'd rather
Losing
watch
Victor.
Ming the Merciless than the Board Queen?
Flash Gordon's not that bad. It's watchable.
5,
What other geek
4,
film has an
3,
entirely Queen soundtrack?
2,
That is worth it.
1. Pens down. We'll go to Joe. I'm sorry, David. Oh, sorry, David
Jordi.
and Joe.
Riker.
Riker is correct. All right, your next question. In Wizarding World. In Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, what is another term for Felix Felicis as spoken by Hermione and Slughorn during Potions class?
So never forget in testing, because I'm an idiot, I'm like, wait, there's a dude named Felix in these movies, so I guess.
And David,
like,
when you write your answers, can you just have the board on screen, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You're good.
I'm a dumbass.
We have standards to uphold.
You're using your hands like Jared Leto in House of
4,
Gucci.
3, shut up. 2, 1, I hate you. Pens down. We'll go to Joe
Liquid luck.
and David.
Liquid luck.
Liquid luck is correct.
Fucking finally.
Your next question comes in the other worst category, quotes. Which DC hero says the line, "You can't solve society's problems with a gun"? I was hanging out with one Jake Melcher yesterday for filming. And I'm like, yeah, Thomas Scully hates me. And he's like, what do you mean? You guys hang out all the time? He's like, yeah, but he hates me. And you can just see, like, you know what? This man would kill me if he had the chance. And he almost did.
You're somebody who, whenever you open your mouth, I just pat you on the head, and also kind of want to beat you with a
You'd be
wrench.
like 30 years old, you'd be like Hawkeye and just like turn off the hearing aid and just
4,
can't hear anything.
3,
Repeat.
2. David's first.
Which DC hero says the line, "You can't solve society's problems with a gun"?
I just heard a bottle cap hit the floor from upstairs, so that means somebody's drinking, and it's only 4 o'clock. Interesting.
Hey, you know what? Is mediocre? Hawkeye. Let's talk about that.
Hey,
Come
what?
on.
Just shut your mouth. 5,
And I love when he
3,
shoots
2,
an arrow.
1.
Whoa.
Pens down. You're an idiot. We'll go to David
Superman?
and Joe.
I hope she classes a hero. Rachel Dawes.
Superman is correct.
He says it to like a crook or something,
It's
right?
Superman the movie. That is right.
Yeah.
All right, move on to your penultimate question. In Star Wars, in A New Hope, in order to get back to the Falcon, 3PO tells the stormtrooper that he must take R2 where when leaving the communications room.
Okay, can you repeat the question?
Second repeat. In A New Hope, in order to get back to the Falcon, 3PO tells the stormtrooper that he must take R2 where when leaving the communications room.
Now this is the best category.
It's my number 2. It's my number 2, probably.
Because one of the categories everyone likes is ass. The other one is like better than I remember, but it's still not great.
You are just. Do you have fun? Do you have fun at all?
I like musicals,
5,
but not Mamma Mia, so you don't agree.
2, 1. Pens down. I will go to Joe
Maintenance.
and David.
If you are looking for this, it's in the repair room. It's not.
Maintenance is correct. Joe gets back his 2-point lead.
And your last question comes in the McCoo MCU. Which MCU film features Stan Lee being mistaken for TV talk show host Larry King? Unfortunately, the answer is not B movie.
I was literally about to say, I hope someone puts B movie.
With B Larry King. No, it's the same one with you in the human world. It's the same thing with the text at the bottom that says what's happening on screen, and then you can hear it.
I literally caught 10 minutes of that movie the other day, and it was literally that scene.
5,
B movie rips.
4,
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. I'll go to David
Iron Man 2.
and Joe.
I meant to.
Both correct. So at the end of round number 1, I had Joe in the lead with 7. David trailing with 5.
Damn it! Forgetting how to say maintenance.
All right, we'll get into round number 2. Round 2 works like this. You both got 3 randomized categories from the randomizer. Those categories being Wizarding World, DC, and Marvel. The person in the lead, that's Joe, will choose if he gets to choose if he wants to choose his category first or second. If he wants to go first or second, you'll get 5 questions in each category, worth 2 points apiece. But you can have the choice for multiple choice, which devalues the question down to 1 point. Guys, you've done this before. Look out! There is stealing. Please be aware. All right, Joe, you have 3 repeats. David has 2, and you both have your challenge. Any questions before we get into round number 2?
Nope.
Okay. So, Joe, you are in the lead. Or do you want to choose your category first or second?
I'll choose first.
Okay. Do you want Wizarding World, DC, or Marvel?
I'll take DC.
Okay. And David, you can choose between Marvel and Wizarding World.
I'll take Marvel.
That leaves Wizarding World for round number 5. All right. So, Spence, why don't you go ahead and give David his questions in Marvel?
All right, sure. David, your
Wait, Joe wants.
I was going to say, don't I get to choose?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Joe, do you want to go first or second?
I mean, I'll stick with the precedent. I'll go first, please.
I was like, what?
Again, very tired, very sorry. I will go ahead and give you your questions in DC. Your first question, Joe. In Red 2, what does the team pose as in order to get into the Iranian embassy?
Multiple choice.
Okay. Your options are A, electricians, B, firefighters, C, paramedics, or D, plumbers.
Paramedics.
That is incorrect. Chance for a 1 point steal. Your options are A, electricians, B, firefighters, C, paramedics, or D, plumbers.
Here comes the poo. Plumbers.
That is correct for 1 point.
Just knew it wasn't firefighters. That's the first one.
Can someone quote that one out of context, please? I want to keep that quote around.
Here comes the poo. Here comes the poo.
The majority of Teen Titans Go to the Movies takes place in.
Jump City.
That is correct for 2 points. Third question. In A History of Violence, where does one of the killers stab Tom before Tom shoots him in the diner?
The foot.
That is correct for 2 more points. Okay, your fourth question. In Watchmen, what does Malik reveal about himself to Rorschach when Rorschach is breaking into his house?
Go multiple choice. I don't know how specific.
Is it A, he has cancer, B, he killed Hollis Mason, C, he owes Ozymandias a debt, or D, he had an affair with Silk Spectre?
He has cancer.
That is correct for 1 more point.
I'm just going to go with he was dying. I wasn't sure how specific we wanted.
Yeah.
And your last question. In Batman and Robin, before leaving the art museum, Mr. Freeze turns a sculpture of what creature into ice?
A dinosaur.
And that is correct for 2 more points, getting your total up to 14, although David, with that 1 point steal, gets himself up to 6. So 14-6. David, going into your round 2. Spence, go ahead and give them their questions in Marvel.
So, David, your question to the Marvel. In The Amazing Spider-Man, what food does Peter devour in his kitchen after being bitten by the spider at Oscorp?
Oh, okay. Meatloaf.
That is correct for 2 points.
I was thinking about the freezing macaroni for some reason.
When we first see H in Men in Black International, he's trying to catch an alien gangster at what kind of event?
I know they are like putting his. Okay. How do you say that? Multiple choice.
All right, the options are A, auction, B, birthday party, C, card game, or D, funeral.
Oh, a card game.
Correct for 1 point.
I didn't remember it was cards.
What is the name of the writer's deadliest weapon in Ghost Rider?
The penance stare.
Correct for 2 points. What is Eggsy's real first name in Kingsman: The Secret Service?
Fuck.
5, 4, 3,
Multiple choice.
2. All right. Options are A, Adam, B, Charlie, C, Gary, or D, Peter.
It's Gary.
That's correct for a point. And your last question. In Blade Trinity, which character narrates the beginning and end of the film?
Hannibal King.
Tie game. Correct for 2 points.
It is indeed a tie game, 14 all after round number 2. David, evening it up, showing how crucial that steal was in Joe's DC round. So move on to round number 3. Round 3 works like this. The remaining categories on the randomizer that were not chosen for round 2/5 are going to be in round 3. Joe has decided to take off quotes, mixed bag, and Oscars. So the categories we have for round 3 are MCU, Middle Earth, Star Wars, Star Trek, and DCEU. So, Joe, because you are the champion, you get to choose which category you would like to give David.
I think David and I both agreed this is probably going to be the hardest part of the match, is choosing what to give now. I'm between two.
Yeah, I guess I am guessing which ones.
DCEU.
Okay. All right. And David, which one do you want to give Joe?
Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will go ahead and give David his questions in DCEU. Remember, these are worth 2 points apiece. You get no multiple choice, and there is no stealing. So it's either 2 points, hit or miss. All right, David. Here come your questions in DCEU. In Aquaman, what was the name of Atlanta's betrothed, also Orm's father?
Orvax.
That is correct for 2 points. And the lead. At the start of Shazam, what do we see Billy type into the police computer in order to find his birth mother?
The specific or just in general what he does?
I need the thing that he types in the computer, please.
Batson?
That is incorrect to license plate number.
Okay. I thought it was Batson. So
I'd have said Batson as well. I'd have said Batson. So don't
Your
worry.
third question. Which DCEU film features a Mayan named Babahide who gives our characters documents regarding an important object?
Wonder Woman 1984.
That is correct for 2 points. All right, your fourth question. In Birds of Prey, What grievance does the roller dummy have against Harley?
Broke her nose.
2 more points. That is correct. And your last question. In Suicide Squad, who is the first member of the squad Rick Flag is introduced to at Bellrev?
Mm.
Five, four.
Deadshot.
Incorrect. It is Killer Croc.
Okay.
So David goes 6 for 10 in his round 3, getting himself up to 20. Joe still with 14. Spence, why don't you go ahead and give Joe his questions in your favorite category, Middle Earth.
I would love nothing less. All right, Joe, your first question. In the Hobbit films, Gandalf's sword, Glamdring, also known as the Beater, is also known as what?
The faux hammer.
Correct, 2 points. At what location do the forces of Rohan assemble at before riding to Minas Tirith in Return of the King?
Dunharrow.
Correct, 2 points. In Battle of the Five Armies, what kind of flying creatures attack the dwarf armies when Bolg's forces arrive at Ravenhill?
Gundabad bats.
Very correct, 2 points. In 1978's Lord of the Rings, why are 9 companions chosen for the Fellowship? Five, four, three, two.
Nope. I'm going to get it. Nope.
Okay. To balance out the 9 ring wraiths.
Ah.
And your last question. When the Fellowship arrives in Moria in Fellowship of the Ring, Boromir remarks that Moria isn't a mine, but a what?
It's a tomb.
Correct for 2 points for the 2-point lead.
All right. So at the end of round number 3, Joe takes a 2-point lead, 22-20, going into round number 4. Round 4 works like this. 5 questions. Again, a whiteboard round. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you lose a point. So once again,
We still are doing the blank board, right?
oh yes, and sorry, blank board means no points. You get no points for a blank board. Okay. All right, so I will go ahead and give you your first question in round number 4. When Clark is revived, when Clark is revived in Justice League, what does he throw at Diana after Cyborg attacks him?
I wish Zack Snyder's cut counted here.
Here's the thing: as much as I would love to, it's 4 hours long, and it's a pain in the ass for writers.
Great movie though. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, we're gonna go to Joe
The head of his statue.
and David.
Superman's statue head.
Both correct for a point.
What is the name of the crime lord on Corellia, who Han is brought in front of at the start of Solo: A Star Wars Story? Movie's pretty good.
Yeah, it's solid. It's the definition of a good movie. It's a good movie.
I want more Lando though.
We all need more Lando in our lives. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to David
Lady Proxima.
and Joe.
Lady Proxima.
Both correct. All right, your third question. At the beginning of Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, who speaks on behalf of Kirk and the Enterprise crew at the International Federation of Planets meeting?
How is this one? I feel like I've heard mixed opinions on it.
a lot of people think a lot of people have it as like their favorite or second favorite, and then there's normal people like me who have it at the middle of the pack.
I think it's the funniest.
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely the funniest. I just at some point, too much is too much. 2, 1, pens down. We'll go to Joe.
I was torn between two. Didn't want to lose points. I didn't put it.
Okay, and David.
Sarek.
Sarek is correct.
That's what I was going to go with.
David gains a point, 24-23. In your fourth question.
Which Marvel film features characters named Mickey Duca and the Toro brothers? Have you been to El Toro, the Mexican restaurant?
I don't think I have. Here's the thing. Every town I've ever lived in has had a Mexican restaurant named Azteca, which is like...
I've never seen one of those.
It's weird. Like almost everywhere I've lived, or at least visited, there's been a Mexican restaurant called Azteca. Never the same fonts, just the same restaurant. 1. Pens down. We'll go to David.
The Punisher.
And Joe.
Punisher.
Both correct. All right. Last question of round number 4. In Superman 3, Ross Webster wants to use the Vulcan weather satellite to exact revenge on which South American country?
So is Azteca like the Mexican version of Tony's Pizza? Because I know 3 different Tony's Pizza, and none of them are connected. They're just vaguely adjacent restaurants.
Tony's or Ray's Pizza. I guess same thing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Joe.
Because they didn't vote to censor Superman Colombia.
And David had nothing. Colombia is correct.
I don't get 1 or 2 points for
regaining his 1-point lead. Both players getting 4 in that round.
2-point lead.
2-point lead.
Yeah, that's what I meant. 2-point lead. Very sorry about that.
It's all right. Yes, go.
26-24 going into round number 5. Round number 5, of course, much like round number 3 in our 3-round matches, the category that was not chosen for round 2 goes into round 5, meaning Wizarding World. This is going to be interesting.
I think that's why we saved it.
All right, so Joe, because you are in the lead, do you want set 1 or set number 2?
Set 2.
Okay. You want set number 2? All right, so I will go ahead and give David his questions in set number 1. All right, David, your question in set 1. For 2 points. What is the name of Hagrid's dog in the Harry Potter films?
Fang.
Tie game. 2 points. Bounces
Joe.
back to Joe.
Joe, your 2-point question. What is the name of Filch's cat in the Harry Potter films?
Mrs. Norris.
That is correct. 2 points.
Tie game. Actually, not tie game. We takes the lead.
How many repeats do I have? 2.
You have 2 repeats. Joe has 3, and you both have your challenge. All right, David. We'll go down to your 3-pointer. In Crimes of Grindelwald, which character does Newt say is a hugger?
Theseus, Scamander.
Correct for 3 points and the lead.
Joe, your 3-point question. In Order of the Phoenix, which character is the first to try and cast the disarming charm during the first Dumbledore's army meeting, but fails?
Neville Longbottom.
2 points.
All right, so here is where we stand. David has to hit his 5. If he hits it, we bounce it back to Joe for his 5. If he misses, Joe will retain his championship. All right, here comes your 5-pointer, David. In Goblet of Fire, according to Dumbledore, what is the term for Harry and Voldemort's wands connecting?
it's fitting because I had this fight against Nick Tui in a championship match.
Oh, wow.
Priori incantatem.
For 5 points and the lead.
All right, so Joe, to defend your title and win the match, your 5-point question. In Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, how old does Newt say was the obscurial he witnessed die in Sudan? Five, 4, 3.
Repeat the question.
It's your second repeat.
Oh,
In Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, how old does Newt say was the obscurial he witnessed die in Sudan?
I've got a number in my head. If I don't go with it, I'll kick myself if it's right. 12.
And your winner and new opening night trivia Geek champion David Garcia. He was 8 years old. The answer was 8 years old. Obscurials do not live past 10, as Newt said.
Yeah, I had that, and then I was going. I saw one survive past a certain.
What
Yeah.
a crazy match! Twists and turns the whole way. We had so many different lead changes in this match, and it ends with crowning ourselves a new champion. We'll go right into post-match interview, starting with our unfortunate loser, Joe. Look, man, you played out of your mind today. I mean, you had 7 in round 1. You stumbled a little bit there with the DC round 2, but you recovered yourself very nicely. Got 8 in Middle Earth. Got 4 in round 4. It's just that 5-pointer. It's just one of those questions where you're struggling between like just a couple of different variations of it. Unfortunately, it just didn't go your way. What are you feeling, man?
Should have taken set 1. New priority incantatem. But hey, that's the way it goes. Look, David has been playing in this community for a very long time, and he really deserves this. He's been a fantastic player this whole time. I can't think of anyone better to, I wouldn't say lose, to pass this title to, because he played very well today. You know, he came out there, that 2-point deficit, he tied it up, went back to a 2-point deficit, and then got the 5-pointer, which I wasn't able to do. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And, you know, at the end of a match where somebody wins something, it's nice to be involved in the post-match congratulations for once, kind of go. But, you know, that's just the way it goes. But no, I'm happy for David. I'm a little bit disappointed in myself just on a couple of questions, but there's nothing I could have done much. Maybe watch Grade 2 again.
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, you just showed you are one of the scariest and one of the best Geek players to ever exist and play this game. Unfortunately, this does mean you are back into the contenders race, as you will. Next season, is there anyone else you would like to face that maybe you haven't faced on your road back to reclaim your title?
Joe, Dave and I were speaking before, and I said I like being champion in this league and the other ones I champion in, but it does sort of limit your play time. I do really enjoy playing this game, so I am looking forward to coming back into a tournament and getting to play a lot more. But there is one person that I have wanted to play for a while. It's Brittany. I think she's been absolutely phenomenal in everything she's played, and I'd really love to have a match one-on-one against Brittany, because I think she's a fantastic player and really has just sort of come in and just set the community on fire with how well she's playing. So I'd really like to play against someone who's at that level.
Absolutely. Brittany was just a stone's throw away from being in that contendership match with her partner Eli, and who knows what would have happened if they had beat Digidestined, and if she had won the contenders match, what would have happened here today. But again, you versus Brittany would be an incredible match. She has made such an impression on this league and the community in general with her knowledge and her play style. But once again, thank you, Joe, for being here. Sucks. This is just how how the season ends for you. But you know what?
It doesn't suck that much. It doesn't suck that much. I'm glad to see David win. I really am. So it doesn't suck that much.
All right. Well, thank you for being here, and we'll see you around next season. All right. We'll go on to our winner today and the new opening night trivia Geek champion, David Garcia. David, man, look, you worked your ass off to get to the level you are at in these types of matches. And I think today, I think everyone has their signature moment in this community, whether it's like whether it's a massive upset or winning a tournament or winning a belt. And you pretty much did all three of those on your path to the belt. I mean, you and RJ beat you beat a ton of talented teams, or maybe you didn't think you might come out on top. You were able to take out RJ, and then of course today get the belt for yourself. How you feeling?
This is my think it's 5th or 6th title match, and it's the first one I win. I think I said it in a match against you once, that when I win this type of matches I get lost of words, and speaking in my second language doesn't help, but props to Joe. I am so happy that it was him. If that I don't know if it makes sense, but it's fitting that the first time I win a belt he's involved, because he's my partner, and yeah, it's just, I don't know exactly what to say. It's been a great match. I think this was the match we wanted, a 5-pointer. We threw a strategy out of the gate, like from the start. We knew exactly what the other person was going to take in round 2. We made the pact to leave Wizarding World for the last one, probably surprising you guys. We talked about it, and yeah, I didn't make a lot of strategy decisions today, but he didn't either. So yeah, I'm just glad it came out this way.
Absolutely. Again, you were behind at the beginning, but you fought back, tied it in round 2, and then you were only down 2 points the rest of the way, and then the 5s flipped the outcome. So this does mean end of the season, you are the new champion. Aside from Joe, who I'm sure you two would love to have a rematch down the line, is there anyone else who you would like to face in your first defense?
Honestly, I think I already mentioned most people I want to play during my previous matches. So, I mean, Brittany, Alex, Robert, I don't know, a lot of Cojo, a lot of people. I don't know, honestly. I just know I have to. Right now, I can't think straight.
I totally understand that feeling. It's exhilarating when you win your first belt. When you reach the top, you kind of don't want to think about what's down the line, but it's going to come sooner or later. So it's going to be a warrior's fight to see who gets to face you in your first defense. But I'm sure you'll be ready and be prepped for what's ahead. So, thank you here, David, and congratulations on your belt.
Thank you.
All right, Spence, that was a wild match. A wild match. Any final thoughts?
Holy shit! I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a title match in Geek. So having it be between these two good friends, we knew we were expecting a lot. But this is, I think, the highest scoring one so far. Both flips just played a really high accuracy game. Joe lost in the 5, which a lot of players have trouble getting through. But now that he's not defending champion, a bunch of players need to watch out for when they have to play him next.
Yeah, and this is kind of the downside of having everything hinge on a 5-pointer, because it's such a massive swing of events. You can be ahead a whole game, miss the 5, and be screwed. But both Joe and David show that they are just warriors at this game, and they deserve all the credit that they get. So that does mean the end of another season here for us at Untitled Geek. Thank you to everyone involved who hosts, who writes, who edits the matches too. You guys are all awesome. It takes a team effort to make this all come together, to make a seamless and working Geek League function. So thank you all who were involved in the making of this season. Thank you to Spencer for co-hosting today. Thank you to Joe and David for being the best players they can be, and everyone else who played the season, who put their best foot forward and made a lot of good quality matches for us to air. If you haven't seen a lot of the other matches that have led up to this, in the team's tournament or the normal contenders match, or even Joe's last defenses, go on the channel, like, subscribe, share it to your friends, spread the word. And once again, thank you all for a wonderful season, and see you in 2022.